Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into TeenSTAR, which is this really fascinating program designed to completely change how communities guide teenagers into adulthood. Whether you're an educator, a parent, or just someone interested in human development, this framework presents a totally unique approach. And it all centers around one core concept: to love and to be loved. But before we get into their solutions, I want you to put yourself directly into the shoes of an anxious teenager for a second and ask yourself, am I prepared to face adulthood? It's a heavy, intimidating question, isn't it? And honestly, it's just as intimidating for the educators and parents tasked with preparing them. There is often this massive, gaping disconnect between what teens actually need to hear and what they're being taught. So here's our roadmap for today. We're going to cover 1. Facing the teen problem. 2. A shift to the person. 3. The holistic 5-point STAR. 4. A curriculum rooted in love. And finally, 5. How TeenSTAR works. Okay, let's dive right into part 1. Facing the teen problem, the anxiety of adulthood. Educators are up against a challenge of massive scale. I mean, we're looking at a staggering data snapshot regarding national deliveries here, over 160,000 teen pregnancies. That represents 30.47% of the annual average in this data set. When you see numbers like this, especially peaking right there in that 15 to 19-year-old demographic, it completely validates the immense pressure and, frankly, the panic that educators and policymakers feel. Because of those terrifying statistics, current educational models, which tend to be either strictly rule-based or just about damage control, often create what the source material calls an unintegrated teenager. It's like a complete disconnect. The adults are operating out of fear, feeling like they just don't know enough to handle the complex realities of modern teenage life. And on the flip side, the teens are operating out of shame, so nobody is actually connecting. Let me introduce you to a hypothetical teen. We'll call him Thabo. Now, under standard educational models, when an educator looks at Thabo, they often just see a walking, talking set of risks. They say, Thabo, we've got a problem. The entire focus is negative, and it's totally reactive. The goals are strictly centered around preventing terrible things, preventing violence, STDs, early marriage, pregnancy. Thabo isn't really approached as a whole human being in this model. He's treated like a crisis waiting to happen. Which brings us to Section 2, a shift to the person, the paradigm pivot. Now, here is the huge light bulb moment in the source material. Instead of looking at this teenager and seeing a problem, the TeenSTAR program takes a step back and says, Thabo, we've got a person. It's a fundamental shift to what they call a personalistic model for sexual education. It completely changes the tone of the conversation from one of fear to one of dignity. The standard World Health Organization approach focuses heavily on provision and prevention, specifically providing contraceptives and open sex ed to mitigate risk. But the TeenSTAR approach, it flips the script to promotion. It aims for the promotion of self-discovery, building a stable family structure, and cultivating healthy peers. It's a completely proactive approach to a teen's overall development. Let's move into Section 3, the holistic 5-point STAR. The personalistic model. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how the program views an individual. Standard sex education almost exclusively targets the physical point at the bottom of the star. TeenSTAR, however, refuses to just look at the physical body. It seeks to integrate the physical with the spiritual, intellectual, social, and emotional facets of the teen. The whole underlying theory here is that you simply cannot isolate one aspect without affecting all the others. So this holistic STAR translates into several really solid foundational pillars of their methodology. It still starts by understanding the body for sure, but it integrates reason with affectivity or emotion. It respects a teen's natural timing and processes, and it explains sexuality firmly within the context of love. It also ensures the young person is accompanied on this journey. And crucially, it actively integrates parents into the process, rather than just bypassing them entirely. So the crucial point is, how does this translate to the classroom? Section 4, a curriculum rooted in love, bridging biology and emotion. You see, TeenSTAR doesn't shy away from the hard science. Not at all. The curriculum teaches biological facts seamlessly alongside emotional intelligence. On the biological side, teens are learning about the reproductive system, embryology, menstrual cycles, fertility awareness, and yes, STDs and sexual abuse. But right alongside that, on the emotional side, they're focusing on personal identity, building real friendship and intimacy, and understanding the true significance of sexual relations. It smoothly bridges the gap between hard biology and human emotion. When a teenager finishes this curriculum, the core message they walk away with is pretty beautiful. They learn that they were created as a gift, meant to love and be loved. They're taught that their body isn't just some vehicle they ride around in, it's an integrated part of exactly who they are. And they learn that their body actively communicates with them, teaching them how to listen to their natural rhythms and processes. Now, you might be wondering, does this personalistic approach actually work in the real world? Well, the program has a surprisingly vast global footprint. It spans across multiple continents, from the Americas to Europe, Africa, Asia, and Australia. This wide reach really suggests that treating a teenager as a whole, integrated person rather than a problem to be solved is a method that resonates deeply across entirely diverse cultural backgrounds. Let's wrap up with Section 5. How TeenSTAR works, methodology mechanics. Logistically, this isn't some quick weekend crash course. It's a patient, deeply invested one-year program where teens meet for fortnightly, so bi-weekly sessions. And rather than standard, boring lectures, the methodology uses highly immersive and active learning. We're talking intensive role plays, open discussions, and real-world case studies. All of this is designed to help participants internalize these concepts both intellectually and emotionally. And that brings us to the end of our explainer. I want to leave you with a final lingering thought regarding the teenagers in our lives, in our schools, and in our communities. Are we just managing problems, or are we actively building people? The TeenSTAR framework aims to build the whole person, spiritually, intellectually, socially, physically, and emotionally, giving them the actual tools to face adulthood with genuine confidence. Thanks so much for joining me, and keep learning.